What's up, y'all? Let me activate my YouTube voice. I'm sorry. What's up, y'all? I think I. Hold on. Yo, what's up? What's up? Making some coffee. I'm all trying to talk all positive and YouTube-y. Did my YouTube voice, YouTube personality. What's up, guys? That was dope. That was sick. Hey, I'm Jenna Davis's boyfriend, Trevor Wright. I'm here to promote my EP that's available for pre-order May 1st, and it's dropping June 6th. Yeah! Hey, what's up, guys? That was dope and sick. This is my YouTube live. Okay, that's about is all I could do. That's about is all I could do. We're going live. We got some topics. I actually got some topics. I kind of wrote a rough curriculum down, just some basic notes to kind of got a few different topics. We're going into sobriety, a little bit about masonry, my EP, which is the main topic, YouTube, and music. Okay. Yeah, my sort of my conspiracy days are kind of, I'm really got a lot of music stuff going on right now. I got a lot of projects that I'm working on. I just finished my EP. I have a 6-song EP available for pre-order on May 1st. And that's been like about 10 months in the making. Because there's some songs like The Time of Flowers, which came out 4 months ago, so I started working on that 5 months ago. So that song is sort of evolved from just, basically guitar and bass to actually more lyrics, keyboards. It's a song now. That's going to be on the EP. I'm going to drop a promo video on Monday, and I'm going to drop, what songs are going to be on the EP, the name of the EP, all that stuff. There's going to be a couple songs on the EP that I've no one's ever heard. So yeah, I published the EP today, so I'm sort of celebrating. I'm probably going to have a cigar in a little while. I'm doing laundry. I work today. Yeah, I still work. I know it's like everyone's dream, to be like, oh dude, I'm like making so much money on crypto right now, and my content's blowing up. I'm doing like paid partnerships, and I'm getting, I'm going here, getting flown around to stay places. I'm just getting paid to basically live my life, and it's just everything's blowing up right now. I know that's the goal for a lot of young people now, but I have a few jobs. I actually have 3 real jobs, and it's how I buy like machine guns and cigars and like a fucking brand new truck, that kind of stuff. However, I do make money off album sales and streams, and so as the more money I'm making on streams, it seems like the less I want to get into drama, conspiracy shit, any of that. Because, I understand some people, they get paid to get into that shit. Religious content creators and conspiracy content creators and shit, but that's really not where I want to be. But I'm going to be getting into some shit tonight. I just thought about something I saw on YouTube. This fucking I'm gonna try not to name call, man. I'm trying, guys. I'm fucking trying. Okay, this dimwit fucking Protestant was going off on how like there shouldn't be icons in the church and stuff. So I am gonna touch on that. I just have to. in obviously a non-biased, respectful way, but yeah, Protestant icon blogger. Yeah, this dude I feel like was just fishing for, streams and stuff because he had a horrible sort of pitch. Like I could come up with something more in depth and something that would make more sense about not having icons than this guy can. It's almost like he just watched someone's video or read something and just said exactly what he just saw, and he wore a suit and like the angle was perfect and he was all seriously talking to the camera. So he pitched it well. He delivered his pitch well and he looked well. But it was nothing of any substance. I'm going to get into that in a second. I wasn't actually going to get into that, but I just thought about that right now. We're going to underline that topic. So I do have my phone flipped around, guys. I'm sorry. I do. I can't see, like, if you're commenting or whatever. I'll turn it around when I'm over there. Maybe. Probably not. What's up? Talking about my EP. I'm talking about the EP I'm dropping in June, but I'm going to be getting into all other fucking topics that are not even closely related to my 6-song EP that I just fucking published today. Yes! I put a lot of hours in this EP, y'all. I put a lot. Some of these songs, too, like Inside and Out is going to be on this EP, and I wrote Inside and Out. It was 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while, Time flies. I saw this news report on this restaurant in Portland, and I was like, oh, I ate there 3 years ago. It's like, I actually ate there more like 5 to 6 years ago, not 3 years ago. So time flies, It actually moves quicker, too, when you get older. It's a scientific fact. It's like, oh, that was 2 years ago. Actually, that was 5 years ago, bro. Get your fucking shit together, bro. You don't even know what year it is, dog. Okay, hold on. I'm making coffee. Get your shit together. You don't even know what year it is, homie. Some of you motherfuckers still think it's 2004. You just haven't fucking stopped getting high. Actually, sobriety is on topic. Seriously, I wrote it down. Sobriety. I'm going to talk about... I know I'm all over the place. Fucking... It is what it is. Okay, so... I'm going to talk about... long-term sobriety. I was thinking about something today, and... I felt like it kind of made sense and... sort of cleared up. Experiencing, how you experience long-term sobriety. Not having long-term sobriety, but how you experience it. It's going to turn into a speaker meeting. I know, shit. Okay. And I have no sugar. Okay. I'm basically doing laundry now, and I'm going to watch Travel Channel with Ginger. So I'm basically killing time while I do laundry. That's what this whole live's about. So don't get your hopes up, okay? Been doing instant coffee lately. My coffee pod thingamajiggy broke, so I have to go to Costco. And I've just been waiting for a day off to go to Costco. And first day I have off is next week. And I'll be able to do a bunch of stuff that I need to do. Definitely recommend Costco. Costco is, I'm a whatever platinum or gold VIP. I'm the highest. I have the highest membership card. There's 4 levels. I'm at the highest one. Fucking double gold. Fucking. I think it's executive or something. I forget. Okay, so Okay, we're gonna get into some masonry too. I'm sorry. I like to talk about masonry sometimes. I fucking do. Don't hate on me. I think it's okay. I do. I talk about masonry from an outside perception. Just from my own, just how I see shit. Okay, I'm not a fucking spokesperson for a lodge or for, the state of Arizona says this about masonry. I'm just chatting. I'm just rapping about like how I see shit. Okay, sorry. It's in my blood, okay? So part of me is just drawn to that stuff. Okay. All right. Hold on. Damn, that coffee's good. Shit. I'm gonna heat that shit up for 30 more seconds and then we're gonna go on the couch. Okay, yeah, so Protestant. I wish I remember that guy's channel. Oh man. I kind of left it was not a harsh or mean comment, but it was aggressive. It was like, bam! It was one of those, just poof. What's up, bitch? Coming here talking shit. It was one of those, but all right, I'm gonna heat my coffee up, and I'm gonna go through these topics. Talk about my EP first. I saw this stupid ad. I was making this promo reel for my EP, and this stupid ad was talking about genres. It's like, motherfucker, I hate it when corporate people start talking about stuff that, I don't know how to say it, normal people talk about. Just like fashion, just like anything, all the underground content creators and musicians and all just the real people that are in the grind, they start talking about shit, and all of a sudden major influencers start talking about it. Fucking this app's talking about genres. It's like, you don't fucking know nothing about genres. Saying genres can vary depending on tempo and texture. Stupid Tempo has nothing to do with the fucking musical genre. And it was a shitty ass fucking ad and app. Okay? So you wasted your money paying for that spot. A genre is a direct reflection or response to whatever's going on in society at that time. That's what a fucking genre is. And I've been live and I've talked about it thoroughly. Meaning, wherever the artist is living and whatever time period the artist is in, you will see his music or her music or that person's music will be a reflection or a response to whatever they are experiencing in life. That's what a fucking genre is. It's not about texture and tempo, dumbasses. Okay, I'm not getting into genres though, because I will start going off. I'm starting to perfect that pitch. Example, in the 80s, music started sounding more digital, right? Because everything started becoming more techie. The technology was advancing, so music started sounding more digital. This is an example of a genre reflecting whatever's going on in society at that time. Okay, a response would be the counterculture in the 1960s. Everything was cookie cutter, WASP. Music was a certain way, so all of a sudden you had artists, musicians getting into Eastern religion, Eastern instruments, going against the war, going against just that sort of boxed, closed, indoctrinated, or keeping up with the Jonas's type of that American 1950s and 60s. You had the counterculture. music scene in America, which was huge. Okay, that was a response. That's what a genre is. Punk rock, same thing, response. You know, island music, like reggae island music, reflection, it's like the vibe is reflecting in the music. People are living that fucking ocean island life, and all of a sudden the vibe, the instruments, the singing, it's reflecting the culture, genre. Sorry, I'm getting worked up over nothing. I'm getting worked up. Fired up. Fired up! Meatloaf! Jenna! Jenna. Switch from Lexi to Jenna. Jenna, give me some meatloaf! I'm hungry. Dyer! Get over here, Dyer! We're not done talking about masonry. Oh man, I saw that too. That was actually a new. That was new. It wasn't. I didn't see that. It wasn't even a debate. Whatever that was. That encounter. I saw it on one of Jay Dyer's fan accounts on YouTube, and it was 15 minutes. Dyer booted some Mason dude from New York. I'm gonna go into that a little bit because people are funny. Phone's flipped around. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. Okay. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. See, that's how you make money. You say some stupid shit and you repeat it 20 times and put a beat and a bass riff to it, and there's a hit. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. I don't see it. I don't know it. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting down on some of that shit. I've been writing bass beat kind of hip hop influence stuff. Obviously, Kali is like that. Fresh Pumpkin Pie has that, and even some stuff on Dark Country, like Do You Love Me? It's got that hip hop beat to it. Fucking bitch is hitting me up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's got that hip hop beat to it. It's not hip hop, but it's got that beat. You feel me? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm like all like this and shit. What's up? What it do? Okay, so hold on. I'm talking. We're 18 minutes. I want to do this whole live in like 20 minutes. Okay, I'm not just gonna sit here for an hour. Ginger's like, God, are you fucking serious? She's like, I want to watch the Travel Channel. Come on, man. She's like, I just had that lamb and I want some quiet in the house. Okay. Jenna, meatloaf. Never mind. Just I'm stopping right there. I'm stopping. Okay. I'm gonna bring my little notebook pad over. Have I ever gone live without talking about Jay Dyer? How am I low-key obsessed about... You know what's funny about Jay Dyer? Is he was Protestant. Okay, he was Catholic, and I could kind of see that. Like, he kind of seems like he would be Catholic in a way, like in his college years. But I don't really see him as ever being an honest Protestant Christian. Like, dude, were you Calvary Chapel, bro? Were you actually Protestant? Because that's what I was. I was fucking Protestant, hardcore, on the fucking worship team. You were my all in all. Scripture bouncing, you know, doing it up. Add a question and answer sticker. Liking black licorice weird? What the fuck, YouTube? Why are you putting shit up on my screen, dude? I'm flowing. I'm in my flow state. Talking Calvary. Talking scripture bouncing, Calvary. Ah! Okay, so yeah, you were not part of the alternative Christian scene unless you went to Cornerstone. Like, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, you weren't real Protestant. You weren't non-dom. You weren't non-denominational. If you didn't go to Cornerstone, then you weren't non-dom. Non-dominational. That was a huge thing when we were going to Calvary Chapel. Is people be like, so you're not, what are you, like Presbyterian or Methodist? It's like, no, dude, we're non-denominational. We're not religious. Okay? It's just like, woo! Trying to explain that to people. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, let me just pitch my EP real quick. May 1st, available for pre-order. My EP is dropping June 6th. It's a 6-song EP. Okay, I'm already up on Spotify. Just YouTube, Trevor Wright, Dark Country. That's the last full-length album I dropped. Okay, let me get serious for a second before I just start going the fuck off. Just wrote down my album name, Dark Country. Spelled sobriety wrong. I don't even want to show you how I spelled it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I've said this before live that the Calvary Chapel years when I was a teenager, 14, 15, 16, those were some good years. We had a good group, a huge group of friends, and we had a lot of fun, and it was clean fun, and it was fun. And then I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna play secular music, dude. I'm sick of, it's embarrassing, you know? Being in a Christian band was, you know, even though the Christian music scene was huge, and it still is, it's kind of embarrassing as for someone like me that's a songwriter. It's like, dude, I'm trying to get up here and get my Led Zeppelin on and shit, okay? And I can't do that when we're fucking singing about the fucking Revelations and the New Testament and stuff. It's not vibing with my flow, man. Trying to get my rock and roll going, dude. So I was the one in my Christian band to be like, okay, let's start writing secular music. And then eventually I just quit the band and just started doing full-on secular music. I was like, shit, I can drink too. Fuck, I could drink, smoke weed, I could hook up with girls, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do. Why haven't we been doing this the whole time? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. That's kind of getting on to topic, sobriety. We're going to get to sobriety. Before, we're going to talk about Jay Dyer's interview with the Mason, which was kind of funny. It wasn't that funny, but it was a little funny. Masonry EP, YouTuber. We already talked about my EP. We just, bam, 6-song EP. It's good. It's good. Each song is strongly in the vibe of the EP. I'm going to drop a promo video, the name of the EP, everything on Monday. It's so hard for me not to just start throwing up reels right now of, like, stuff, but I published it. I'm letting it, you know, I told everybody Monday, so I'm trying to be the professional musician here and keep to what I say. Okay. Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer is Eastern Orthodox Christian. He's the same stamp of faith as I am. I was chrismated in the Orthodox Church when I was 26. I'm gonna show you a picture of it too, because I feel like sometimes people would don't believe me for some reason. Wrong picture. Grabbing all sorts of pictures back there. Just grabbing the wrong fucking picture. But it's a nice picture too. I'm gonna leave this picture out here for some reason. I haven't been live in a while. I'm kind of stepping away from social platforms, and I'm actually going to be deactivating my. I'm not going to deactivate my service, but I'm going to have a month without my phone on, because I had no phone service for 5 days. It's a long story, and it was probably the best 5 days I've had since I was 17 years old. Anyways, this is me getting chrismated in the Eastern Orthodox Church. That's Father Michael Lewis, memory eternal. Passed away from cancer rapidly, great family, incredible priest. A lot of people converted to the Eastern Orthodox Church. A lot of non-denominational Christians in Orange County converted, like, not necessarily because of Father Michael Lewis, but a lot of people, like my godfather Turbo. There's a lot of prominent figures, so to speak, in the Southern California alternative Christian scene. And some of them converted to Eastern Orthodoxy. And so, like, I wouldn't say half, but a good percentage of non-denominational Christians converted to Eastern Orthodoxy. The good old-fashioned way, like, hey, come to liturgy. Have you ever been to liturgy? Not really through social platforms where people converting. I feel like Eastern Orthodox content creators, it's kind of like a newer thing, maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, because I'm almost 41 years old, and when I converted to Eastern Orthodoxy, it didn't seem like people were really, really talking about Eastern Orthodoxy online. Anyways, yeah, so there it is. Proof is in the pudding. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? So, I come from a Masonic family. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My great-grandma, she spent her whole life in the Eastern Star, which is the female sect of Masonry, but also men can be members of Eastern Star also. But usually, it's just a bunch of American broads. So anyways, my great grandma, she was, she spent like 70 years in the Eastern Star, and I forget what position or title she had, but she was kind of like the head of her, I don't know if they call it a lodge or what, in Orange County. So that's just the start of it. I'm not going to name every single person in my family that's a Mason, because it's like everybody. But it's a little bit, Masonry is not Mormonism, okay? But there's similarities, and one of them is that once you're kind of written in their book, or once your family is Mason, it's like kind of like I don't know if they actually have a book where they write you in, but it feels like that, where you're a Mason basically, and you're kind of, even if you fill out a petition, it's on the petition, like, was your grandpa Mason? Was your dad a Mason? Were you in the I forget the boys group? They're trying to find out, like, if you come from a Masonic, which is basically like saying an American culture. Old school American culture. But the thing is I'm not criticizing Jay Dyer or the guy he was talking to on YouTube. I can't even remember his name. Okay, some guy from New York said something about someone being a traitor. I don't even fucking know what he's fucking talking about. I don't even know what Jay Dyer was talking about. Something about Jay Dyer messaged him saying, "Oh, you said someone's a fucking traitor." Or I think it's something about, it had something to do with politics, so not like religion or anything. Something about like how Republicans are no longer supporting Trump or something like that. and they're traitors to America or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it too much because I don't really fucking know what they were talking about. But I will say, I noticed when Jay Dyer interviews Masons, he treats them. He's a little more like prudent, if you will. And a lot of people are like that when they're talking to Freemasons. Kind of similar to how people talk to police officers, where they're kind of like short, short and washer. They're kind of like short, and they don't want to offend them. They're not natural. Where usually when Jay Dyer is talking to people, it's just naturally him. All of a sudden when people talk to Masons, they're trying to, they're treating that conversation like they're talking to an entire group of people. And the thing is Masons are, you're not talking to an entire group of people when you're talking to a Freemason. You're just talking to that dude. For whatever reason, he petitioned, and for whatever reason, whatever 15 people voted him in. He's not the representative of the Illuminati or the whole Grand Lodge, or, it's one Mason is not this, you could talk to them like you would talk to anybody, is what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of harder to have a natural flow in the conversation if you're presumptuous about who you're talking to. And I feel like the conversation, whatever they're talking about, it never really launched. It never really got going into a natural conversation because of that kind of like, it's just, I don't want to look stupid, I don't want to look stupid talking to a Freemason. Oh shit, dude, what if I look stupid? Or something like that. But anyways, it was funny when that guy was like, do you know, would you agree a circle's a circle? Let's talk about squares. Let's talk about squares and circles, Jay. Would you agree that a circle is a complete circle and that a square has 4 corners? And Jay's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Circles and squares and shit? Yeah, I believe a circle's 360 fucking degrees around. It was funny. But Jay was treating him like he was trying to put some fun, like Masonic voodoo on his ass or something. But really, that guy was just trying to set a platform for himself that he's talking on the level, so to speak, which came from Masonry, that saying. Meaning he was trying to let Jay and the audience know that he's not fucking insane, basically, because he's a Mason. Like, he believes in circles, he believes in squares. He draws circles, he draws squares, he draws triangles. He goes, do you know what a triangle is? Okay, do you know what a square is? He's letting everybody know that he's able to understand basic shapes. And so he was about to start talking about what he was going to talk about. And Jay's like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You're talking about circles and squares and shit. Man, I'm not doing this fucking shit. You sound like an idiot. He's all, first of all, you're not going to call me an idiot. Dude, that was such a fucking... I don't even know what the fuck that whole thing was, but it was just not... There was no conversation that was going to come out of that was edifying in any way. Just from the start. Jay doesn't like fucking Freemasons. Most people don't, for some reason. Sometimes I make fun of Freemasons too, just not because of any more reason than I just like to fucking make fun of fucking people in groups. I make fun of Mormons, make fun of fucking liberals, make fun of fucking Republicans, make fun of fucking Islamics. I just fucking make fun of fucking people. I don't hate anybody more than the next group. I just fucking think, I just like to do that. But no. So that was one topic that I discovered. I think I said everything I wanted to. And then we are going to sobriety. First maybe we should just jump onto the Protestant icon real quick. It's 35 minutes. 35 minutes. I don't want to be talking past 9. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not going to sit here for fucking 5 hours and ask for like $3 donations and shit. Okay, so thank you for the $3. Okay, so the real quick, the YouTube video I saw with this Protestant dude, and he's got his like, his suit on, and his white shirt and his black tie, and he's got a suit, and he's talking about how Christians should not have icons. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that topic, but the fact is that almost all the stuff he said, he put up a picture of an icon, of a saint. So he'd be like, Justin said this, obviously Saint Justin, but Protestants don't say saint. So, but he just looked like an idiot. The Protestant looked like an idiot when he's talking about how Christians shouldn't have icons, because he kept showing pictures of icons. Huh, Gingy? You see her? He kept showing pictures of icons. He'd be like, here's an icon here. He's like, Christians should not have icons, and then you show a picture of an icon and like what the saint says about pagan worships and idolatry regarding like witchcraft and pagan, and ancient Roman mythology, whatever the pagan images. So he'd show an icon of a saint and be like, this saint said this saint said this, and so the whole video is him showing basically icons and how saints are saying not to be into idolatry and astrology and esoteric images and stuff. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody, that this guy is talking about how Christians shouldn't have icons, and every little thing that he mentioned was from a saint and a depiction of the saint. Ginger's going under the couch. She's like, God, I fucking can't take this anymore. So, yeah, and there's evidence of not just Orthodox and Catholic churches 1,000 years ago, but there's evidence of them having depictions of the Lady Theotoko's Mother Mary like 1700 years ago. So the early church, the early church, 100, 200 years after Christ's resurrection, there was images of Christ and Mother Mary in the early church. Because when you're non-denominational or one of these Protestant denominations, they kind of teach you like, oh, all the Christians were like us for hundreds and hundreds of years, and over time it formed into an evil religion and was a satanic evil religion after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of all the Christians being just like us, just Bible bouncing and worshiping, like just good Bible believing Christians for hundreds and hundreds of years, and then evil religion formed slowly and then corrupted Christianity, when really the church was the Eastern Orthodox Church. It was the Church of the Apostles. They had the sacraments, they had the creed, they assembled the Bible over time, they made the sign of the cross, they worshiped and lived how Eastern Orthodox Christians live today. And then over time, the Protestants broke off from that style of Christianity, for lack of better words. So really, they're the ones that created this thing. It wasn't like, but they teach people the other way around. And I know that because I went to non-denominational churches, and pastors would be up there being like, oh, Christianity was great. They were like us, for like 500 years, and then the fucking Catholic Church formed and it got evil, when really it was all orthodoxy for 1,000 years. Then the Catholics broke off. They shared the same history. They broke up, and then the Protestant non-denominational, roughly 1,500 years after the 1,500 years of Christian culture and history. And then now there is some positives with the Reformation, though. It's not all bad. There's positives. Like there's some of the Reformation, depending on what country you're in. I think it was I'll say like Poland or England. I forget. Uh, one of the Protestant denominations made it their goal for everyone to have the Bible and be able to read the Bible. And before that, like in the Catholic Church, in the Orthodox Church, your everyday person didn't have the Bible. It was clergy. The clergy had the Bible. They read the Bible in the Hebrew, the Greek. So they made it kind of like a goal for everybody to be able to do private devotions, to have their own Bible, to read their own Bible, and to whatever, interpretate or have a relationship with God and a relationship with the Bible outside of the church, which is why now you have thousands of different denominations, because you'll have someone just be like, oh man, I believe the Bible is saying this, and our whole church community should live this way, exactly how I'm reading the Bible. You know what I mean? So it's a positive that a lot of these Protestant denominations brought the Bible into everybody's home, but with that became an aftermath, became, cause and effect. I don't think there's anything wrong with icons. I think they're depictions of stories that happened. Different people explain icons differently. Some people say they're windows to heaven. Some people look at them more spiritually, I think, than other people. But I think they're just pictures of what happened in the Bible. And a lot of Protestant denominations, and even the Mormon church, when you go to the Mormon church, they have, Jesus by the lake with the fish, and they have depictions, giant Protestant looking depictions of stories from the Bible. But that's more like artwork, where in the Orthodox Church there's way more symbolism in the icons, and down to the colors, there's just a lot of symbolism. And within the icons, similar to like Hinduism, in one picture, when you understand the icon, you're getting like 100 different spiritual messages, and you're able to connect and to worship with the five senses when you look at the icon, worshiping in spirit and truth. So when you look at a lot of the Protestant and Mormon depictions of the stories in the Bible, there's like no symbolism. You can't learn anything from their artwork, where you could learn the in-depth things and spiritual things from Orthodox icons. You could learn. You can't learn anything. Basically, the Mormon and Protestant artwork is basically just saying, we are a white church. Look at the Jesus, clearly Anglo-Saxon, Jesus, all the apostles, look at, they're white. They're white. Our church is white. We like the Bible. That's basically more or less what they're saying. I'm joking around. No, some of the artwork in the Mormon church and Protestant churches are great. They're nice. We have, that famous picture of Jesus that all the Mormons and the Protestants used in the 1600s. They had pictures of Jesus too. He just had a stronger jawline. Anybody? No? Is that funny? I thought it was funny. It's true though. They always draw Jesus as much higher testosterone level, where in Orthodox Church, Christ is more of like a spiritual looking, like a little Jewish spiritual man-child. Where in the Protestant church, he's like fucking Fabio, It's just different. It's not unusual for different cultures to depict Jesus looking like them. So like Russian Jesus, Greek Jesus, which is my favorite Jesus. Chinese Jesus. So in China, there's some Orthodox churches. In Japan, there's Orthodox churches in Japan, Orthodox communities. If you look at their icons, they're all Japanese. All the apostles are Japanese. Christ is Japanese. Mother Mary's Japanese. It's actually beautiful. I love the iconography. I think, especially in the Catholic Church, the Japanese, there's a lot of Catholic Japanese, but even in the Orthodox Church, they depict them as looking like them. I mean, it's not about race here in land. I love God. Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for the follow too. What's up? It's not about race and it's not about the land. Christ has brought all people to salvation. So all men are gathered to salvation through Christ, through the covenant, the continuation. So you have Ethiopian Christians, right? You have Christians from all around the world, and some people are trying to act like, oh, God is only for Arabic people or Greek people or Jewish people. It's for everybody. That's the whole point of Christ coming, is to bring peace on earth. That was like the whole point of it, So, what's up? Just some girls. Hashtag just some girls. Space me. Amen. I love God. Emoji, heart emoji. Waving hand. What's up, man? Thanks for subbing too. I noticed you subbed me. You subbed me about like a week ago. Appreciate that. So yeah, you want to be careful with that whole Zionist thing. Okay, I'm not anti-Jew. I could care less. Okay, it's an old culture. Jews have very similar folk dancing as Greeks. They have a lot of similarities. Greeks, Arabic. Okay, they're not Persian, they're Arabic. It's a culture, it's an old culture. But you want to be careful when like England and America starts going, you're God's chosen people, so let's fucking kill everybody. Technically, if you're Eastern Orthodox Christian, you're God's chosen. Because you are now partakers of Christ, the communion of Christ under the new race. Interceding through the Lady Theotokos. So the new race under Mother Mary. I know that sounds so crazy to be like, this is the new race under Mother Mary. It's like, whoa. But it's true. It's true. So like Joseph Smith, Mormons, Freemasons, they have a whole completely different understanding of the Bible, and it's heretical, and they misunderstand the Bible. And in America, it's like there's that Masonic understanding of the Bible, aka Protestant understanding of the Bible. That's the Christian, and everything else is religious, Catholic, Orthodox. And that's because everybody in America has been programmed via group conscious. Even Catholics and Orthodox people in the 60s and 70s, like, they might not even tell people they're Christian because it was so heavily dominated by a Masonic Protestant view of Christianity. And they were just like being polite, basically. Like, hey, we're Russian, we're Greek, we're in your country. We're not going to be like, fuck, technically our church is 1,500 years older than your misconception of the Bible. Like, they were polite. They're nice people. They're good people. So they're not, but now like a lot of American Protestants have converted to Eastern Orthodoxy and brought down the facts. And now this is why you have sort of Protestants scrambling about icons, Masonry scrambling about, like, oh, dude, it's all esoteric, brother. Don't you understand that all this imagery is esoteric? And they're getting all like, Masonry always likes to throw their little esoteric twist on everything. And it's just what they do. It's literally what they do. They just throw a weirdness on it all. So that's just what they do. I'm going to heat my coffee up. I decided not to be a Mason because I love Eastern Orthodoxy and I like Eastern Orthodoxy way more than Masonry. So it's not like I hate Masonry. I think you could learn a lot from Masonry, like the working tools. I think there's positives about Masonry, but Eastern Orthodoxy is so much better for me. And I'm almost 41 and I'm just doing whatever makes me fucking happy at this point. I almost became Catholic, but then I went to some Orthodox services during Holy Week and it was the most heartfelt, best Orthodox services I've ever experienced. And I became Orthodox like 14 or 15 years ago. And just in the last month, the services that I went to have been the best services I've ever been to. And I don't want to, like, what's the right word? Compromise that in any way by letting in or being part of any other like religion. Okay, I'm pretty universal. There's stuff, obviously I came out with Goddess Kali song, Hindu. I'm literally chanting the Hindu chant. So I'm very universal, but as far as my stamp of faith, it's Eastern Orthodox. It's my favorite religion because it works the best for me. Now, call me selfish, but if I found a Catholic lifestyle or like a Catholic wife or a Hindu or whatever, if I started practicing another religion or whatever, found some esoteric teachings that made me feel and live better and think better, I would just jump ship. I'm a human. I'm gonna do whatever's best for me. And as of right now in life, Eastern Orthodoxy is, I feel the most well with Eastern Orthodoxy. So that's it. Case is closed. Next topic. So we did, here we go. Now it's going to get fun. We're going to get into sobriety and we might get into writing music, like some stuff about writing music, but I don't think I'm going to really go there. I don't want to be mean. I was going to start talking about the everyday person that was like, shit, I want to write music, damn, I like writing music, I hear melody lines, I like, I got lyrics written down and stuff. I would love to publish some music, man. I would love to get on a computer and I hear melody lines, like I'm writing down lyrics. I want to put a beat to that, and it's like, I'm vibing, like I feel like it could go somewhere, dude. I got something to say, man. It's like the shit I'm hearing, it's like next, brah. Like those kind of people should, I was going to talk about those people and how there's a lot of those people, especially with, it's so easy to publish and record music now, where I came from the generation where like we learned how to play with real drums, play with real drummers, play actual instruments, learn how to set up a PA. We were structured in a whole different way as far as writing music, appreciating music. And I'm kind of, and there's still young people like Ellen plays bass. She's old school, she learned how to play bass. She plays with her dad. She understands good music. She likes the Beatles. Like was raised right. But there's also a lot of idiots out there. Sorry, I'm being mean. I'm trying not to be mean. But there's a lot of people out there that just are like in the music game, but like they don't even realize that there's nothing authentic about them and they have nothing to offer anybody with their music that they're putting out. So there's a lot of that, but but who the fuck, shit, if you want to, anybody could write and publish music now, I mean, who knows, maybe eventually you'll, come out with something, halfway decent, but all right, I'm getting my coffee. There's a lot of musicians that are very, very famous, and I think they fucking suck. And that's like almost all the musicians that are famous. Like even Justin Bieber, I mean, he just seems like a mediocre everything. But he's likable, you know, and that's what it comes down to now. It's not really about talent, it's about being likable. It's so true. It's about having a good presence on social media. Because you can make anything sound good with, you know, the technology that's out right now. Back in the day when we recorded analog, it's like, fuck, you better be fucking good at your instrument because you're only going to have so many takes. It was expensive to record. You know, it costs a lot of money. Now it's like, oh, dude, I'll just cut that out real quick and fucking, I'll do it. Give me that fucking guitar. I'll fucking do it real quick. It's like a brand. But there's still some like fucking musicians out there that act like it's a sport, you know, like fucking metalheads and shit, like fucking shredding and shit. Like yeah, you turned playing an instrument into a goddamn fucking sport, dude. Congratulations. You could shred like no other, you know. Same with drums and stuff. I'm more vibey, you know. I've been into like the vibe. I'm like into the vibe and the energy of the music, not so much if it's played perfectly. So I'm not really like a brand musician, and I'm not the type of musician that is like treating music like a sport. But there's some people that are famous I do respect, like Rihanna. Rihanna's great. Her songs are great. She has a good voice. She's the real deal. I mean, there's definitely some musicians that are very popular, very successful, and they're raised right. You know, they appreciate good music. They appreciate real musicianship. They're not just like advertisement, basically, for a group conscious and for products. I start getting real calm. I start talking all like quiet and monotone. Hey guys, my name is Trevor Wright. I'm dropping an EP on June 6th. Be available for pre-order Woo! We're warming up. Ready for the big ride, baby. I'm that kind of musician, just like, ready for the big ride, baby. Yeah, I'm a real musician. I play blues. Back when we played blues, we didn't even have tuners. Strings were missing on the guitar, man. Okay. Sobriety. Okay. How do we experience long-term sobriety? Topic shift. Hate to flip it on you. Turn the table. Keeping this shit dialed, y'all. Okay. So how do I experience? Okay. I have over 2 years without a drop of fucking alcohol. Okay. I'm not a fucking saint. Okay. There's stuff I do in life that's not fully sober. But I don't drink alcohol. Okay. So take that how you want it. Anyways, I was sort of like meant to be an alcoholic. So I chose a path, and I was hardcore, you know, alcoholic culture, rock and roll music, drinking was every day, all the time. And extracurriculum, you know, quickly was definitely part of it. That's all your other stuff, okay? That definitely got in the mix. Okay, but alcohol, I'm talking about alcohol. When you choose that life of drinking every day, you're sort of setting yourself on a trajectory, like kind of like how a planet or a comet just starts going on its fucking gravitational pull. And it's going that fucking way. Okay, that's sorry. Let me button up. That's my alcoholism was the real deal. I was in Montana. I had a Native American girlfriend. She was an alcoholic. I was in a band. Okay, I was alcohol. Hi, my name's Trevor. I am alcohol. Okay, so yeah, I was in that shit. I thought I was a fucking rock star. My girlfriend was super fucking hot. Probably should have married her. My band was great. And drinking was a part of every bit of that. So my life as an alcoholic, we'll just put 19, was like, you guys see that? So that's 19-year-old me. And I'm going fucking this way. Okay, I'm going that way. So at 30, I put the plug in the jug. And I more or less stopped my alcoholic career. There was little, months where, at 32, I, relapse and go do every fucking thing under the sun and drink, and I'd do like a 2-month run. And then at like 34, I did like a 4-month run. So, but for the most part, at like 30, I was getting long-term sobriety. So I basically stopped going up this way. It's going to make it really simple with the chart. So at 30, I got into AA. I started my AA at 30, and I stopped. Even though there was little periods of relapses and incredible relapses. I basically, at 30, started creating another way. And started going the other way. Back to how I would have been if I never started with the whole fucking shit show. So this was my natural trajectory to life. 19-year-old Trevor. I was going this way. Then I decided just fuck it, I could do whatever the fuck I want, and just started drinking and doing everything under the sun and fucking running the show. And so I was supposed to go this way, so I started going this way. And at 30, I had some shit happen, and I was like, oh shit, I can't go all the way up here because I'm gonna fucking fly off the goddamn fucking planet. Okay, so I switched. I was like, no, I'm going back over here. Now here's how I experience long-term sobriety. You're going back the right direction after years and years of sobriety. Look at little bumps in the road, like, oh, oops. Oh, fuck that relationship up or whatever. Now you're going the right way, but it's bumpy. But here's the deal, is like your spirit and soul and your life path is still fucking over here. Like your brain and your eye, your soul and the eye of your mind, like everything is still over here. That's why they say it doesn't matter how much sober time you have. If you drink a little bit, you're just like, bam, you teleport over here immediately. Because you already started this trajectory. You're still over here. Your fucking whole being is still here. But you're sober and you're living over here. So it takes a while to really realize that you're back on the line to health, to thinking well, to being a fucking normal, what the fuck is normal anyways, but to being back to your authentic self, a return to innocence. I got that from a bro in the program, Aaron. Okay, so he had a lot of good ones. King had a lot of good ones. So anyways, so you're back here. And it takes a while to really realize that you are back on the right trajectory. It's not a straight line. There's bumps in the roads. But that's how when you're experiencing long-term sobriety and you're at 2 years. Look at you're at 2 years. You haven't had a fucking drink in 2 years. So you're like, damn, I'm over here. But at 2 years, you're still feeling the impact like you're over here, even at 3, at 4. And at about 5 years, in my experience, and from going to a lot of meetings, at 5 years, your head finally, you realize that you're actually going the right path and you're not feeling connected to this other line. Same with breaking ancestral curses. Same with, you were going one way for sure, and when you go the other way and you're breaking through ancestral curses, you're breaking through addiction, you're breaking through toxic family traits, you're breaking through poverty, you're breaking through victim mentality, quitter mentality. When you're breaking through all that shit, it's like, yeah, you're living your life like you're breaking through it, but a lot of what you're feeling is still all the way over there still for fucking years. And seriously, it seems like, and I became Orthodox at, 26? So I was like, became Orthodox, but I was already on, 26, became Orthodox at 26, but I was already going this fucking way. So it didn't matter I became Orthodox. It didn't matter I went into AA and fucking learned everything under the fucking sun and figured out everything about everything. I was still fucking going this way. Even though became Orthodox, I'm going this way now. And it takes a while to break through, the ancestral curse, So 26, I'm almost 41. So just in the last, really honestly, just in the last 2 or 3 months, I'm feeling confidently like I'm really back on the right direction and the right path. Because at 2-3 years, you've already set your life in motion going the wrong way. So it doesn't matter if you've been doing the right fucking thing for 2 or 3 years, you're still over here. Because your soul, your whole life, it's still going that way. And you're walking this way, but everything you're experiencing is still fucking over there. And it takes a while to realize that you're going back the right way in life. You're going back the right way in life. And you have been for a long time, but everything you're experiencing is still going the wrong way because you've already set your fucking self in motion going the wrong way. So this is why people are like, damn, I haven't had a drink. I've changed my life. I know I'm not that person I used to be, but why am I still feeling like I'm that shitty person still after years of doing the fucking right thing? It's because you've already set it in motion going the wrong way. And so it takes going the right way at least 3 or 4 years to start realizing that you're fucking actually going the direction you meant to be going. I'm going on 16 years of hell. Damn. Yeah, I feel that, bro. Hold on. Yeah, one of our comments said I'm going on 16 years of hell. That's some real shit right there. I had, it was fun until it wasn't fun. It's fun in the beginning, then it's fun with problems, then it was all problems. I think my major hell, I'm almost 41, but yeah, I kind of I went through it, even not even that long ago. I mean, I'm just now in the last few months really realizing I'm on the right path, even though I've been trying to be on the right path for 5 or 6 years. I still felt like I was on the wrong path because I had too many years going the other way. But yeah, 16 years is a long time. But I experienced some real life hell for, some years for sure. Not 16, but maybe. I had a good 10 years of hard life. My neighbor tried, oh, yeah, that's a bummer. Your neighbor tried to, yeah, when it comes to domestic, when it comes to getting to the point where someone is going to where and it happens, dude. We're humans. I mean, look what been happening around the world. Like it gets to that point, whether it doesn't matter what religion you are, what race you are, if you're sober or not sober, it gets to the point where people want to, attack other people for whatever reason. It happens. And the very best thing to do is to not engage. And it's tough when it's your neighbor because they're right there all the time. But honestly, the best thing to do is to move if you can, and do not engage in any drama. Trust me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not a good. It just never works out well. Like there's been people that I've liked or that I've not liked. There's been people that I've hated for no fucking reason, meaning they never even offended me. I used to sell pot, and there's people that bought pot from me all the time, and I fucking hated them. Like I fucking hated seeing them. Oh, dude, can I get an 8? Whatever. They're bringing me over whatever, $20, $50, $60. And I'm fucking like, man, I fucking hate this fucking person, man. I'm thinking they're against me or whatever. I'm like literally armed. I have a gun on me. I'm thinking I'm going to be like shooting this fucking person, and there's nothing's happened. It's just all in my head, so, and that's called a resentment when you just fucking hate someone. And sometimes you hate people for a good reason. And you're like, I actually fucking hate this person for a real fucking good reason. Whether you hate the person for a good reason or you're just fucking tripping, which happens too, because we're people, never engage. It's not worth it. It's not fucking worth it. People, it's not worth it. Especially if you do something stupid or if you do something and they do something stupid, pretty soon you're like a couple years down the line, you're just laughing at it. Like, dude, what the fuck was all that? Fucking everybody's, you're going to be like looking at life in a different perception, and you're going to be thanking God that you never did anything too stupid. You're really going to be thanking God because you're going to be like, damn, I was on the fucking line, and you're going to be thanking God because your life's going to get better. You're going to be, back going the right way. And then, here you're going the right way, but you're still feeling like you're going the wrong way. So you've already set everything in motion going the wrong way. So even at 2, 3, 4 years of doing the right thing, you're still going to feel fucking over here. And you're going to have bumps in the road, and you're going to be right about to do something fucking stupid. But if you don't, eventually you're going to kind of cross that imaginary line and actually feel like you're going the fucking right way. It's like the fucking, it's like life testing you or something. Is this person really fucking sober? Are they really not a shithead anymore? It's like, yeah, trying not to be. My neighbor tried to kill me. He set me up to be tortured by microwaves and steal my property. Careful with mind control. I've been gang stalked since 2004. Oh, I get that, man. Oh, dude, I've been gang stalked like crazy. I could sit there and show like evidence of gang stalking, not really recently, but it kind of I live in the middle of the country now, so it's hard to gang stalk someone that lives in the middle of nowhere because it would be so obvious if you did, it'd be like, oh, it's the one fucking person that's never there, but yeah, I mean, I was a drug dealer for a while, so I sold a lot of pot in California, so some of that gang stalking could have been from, selling a lot of pot, but I don't think so. I think it's because I was a truther and I got into a lot of conspiracy stuff. But I mean, I have footage of multiple helicopters literally just flying around right above me for fucking hours, for years. Just phone evidence. I'm with my phone, just a fucking little black helicopter, not even a police helicopter, but just sometimes whatever kind of helicopter, sometimes police helicopters, but I was followed by helicopters in unmarked vehicles for years, and I still don't know why. Because someone that sells pot is not going to attract that much attention. Not like that, anyways. So I think it's spiritual. I think, honestly, I think when people have certain frequencies and are spiritual, I think they gang stalk people that are spiritual, basically. And there's thousands of people out there that have hard evidence of being gang stalked, and they're not criminals at all. So it is spiritual. It's got to be spiritual because, yeah, there's stuff going on. I do believe in coincidences, but there's some stuff that's so accurate, meaning things will happen to people where it's way too precise. And whatever it is, whatever agency or whatever it is, I don't know what to call it, they could definitely see into the future, and they will know things that's going to happen in your life before even you know they're going to happen. So then they're able to manipulate. And so, yeah, I will admit, part of me is I'm partly paranoid, so not everything I experience is gang stalking, but there's some shit that's undeniable fucking evidence. Like when a helicopter is flying around you in circles for like 2 to 3 hours a day for like 3 years straight, you just can't. You can't. That's not like, you're not tripping, That's like the scene in Goodfellas when he's like, no, dude, there's a fucking helicopter above me. It's been a helicopter following me for 6 months. Dude, you're tripping. It's like, yeah, there was a helicopter following him. So, but what's weird is it seems like they're gang stalking truthers and spiritual people more so than actual criminals, because now we found out that the government is actually committing all the major crimes, and they're behind all the huge organized crime syndicates. They're doing, obviously with Epstein files, it's all the people, the wealthy people and the elite people, they're committing like unbelievable crimes all the time, but yet these people are gang stalking and trying to frame and try to create false narratives for people that, for whatever reason, they're obsessed with creating false narratives. But our government's dirty. I'm not anti-American. I'm not fucking racist or anything, but our government is fucking dirty, and it's been dirty, and everything's coming out, and all the technology is working against them because, yeah, they want to micromanage people with digital currency, and they want to control information with AI and stuff, but there's a flip side to every coin. And so now everything, like, everybody has access to everything now. So if you do like any type of research, for even a little bit of research, you'll see that the government is fucking dirty. And they do gang stalk truthers, and they gang stalk people like me that have a potential of explaining things thoroughly and in a way that makes sense and brings light to people, and they could actually understand it and not in like a fucking crazy way. Those are the people that gang stalk. And this is, I'm also a musician, so this is one of the reasons I don't really get into this stuff, because most people don't want to hear it. And, I am trying to get my music to blow up, so it's, what's up, Lancelot? Oh man, some crazy shit. No, I'm not vaccinated. Definitely not vaccinated. I do need to figure out how to fucking block people, though. Let's see. I know Jay Dyer is doing it. There you go. Boom. Reporting that, dude. I will fucking report your ass for sure. I'm all trying to like report this person in like all these different ways. There. You got fucking reported. I like to report people multiple times, so that's what we'll do. Oh damn, they just removed your dumbass shit. That's another thing is I do not know. I do not know why like influencers. I guess when you have so many people following you, so many like fake accounts and just fucking weirdos and shit. There's so many idiots out there that you're gonna fucking block everybody. You know what I mean? Report everybody. I will. I mean, because I'm not really on here a lot, but I'm reporting the fuck out of this weirdo right here. Yeah, I just I don't know how they don't fucking report people like they should. But again, I'm not really on here. I'm not really on here a lot. No, I did not get vaccinated. This is why I have a job, people. I have actual real life jobs and stuff. So um, I'm so glad I don't have to rely on people pleasing. You know, these influencers, they have to try to make everybody fucking like them so they could basically get paid for just living their lives and not working a job where I could fucking not be on any social platforms for months and still be making $20,000 a month and not have to deal with any fucking weirdos and trolls. And I mean, what a shitty way to make a living actually being an influencer. It's just you're held hostage by the group conscious basically. So, but hey, I mean, I've been I've gone off on people too. I've fucking went off on people, you know, too. So, but the thing is I block people, you know. I absolutely, I get rid of people, like this dummy here. Um, oh, that's cool. I actually thank this person for being an idiot because I could, six subscribers. It's always like, it's always the people that have like 6 or 10 subscribers that are obviously bot or troll accounts. You know, you start talking about how stupid the government is, and all of a sudden there's some like harassing comment. It's like, really, that's what you get paid for? You know, you actually have a legitimate government job and you sit around and harass and troll people. Like, how are you proud of that, you know? Um, yeah, our government's stupid. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Lancelot? I'm doing all right. Sorry, I'm just seeing stuff right now. Anyways, yeah, so I went off on like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different topics. Yeah, the EP that I'm dropping it's good. I spent a lot of hours recording this. Yeah, it's 6 songs on the EP. It will be available for pre-order on yeah, trigger words. I know. You say certain things like helicopters or like fear words, certain trigger words, and all of a sudden there's like all these bot and troll accounts just harassing and stuff. And the crazy part is a lot of times there are people that actually do work for the government or actually work for YouTube themselves, and they're trying to create like a group conscious and a collective conscious that is anything but putting, you know, the spotlight on their sick shit, you know. Like there's so much sick shit on YouTube and never any harassment, nobody ever bothers them, but you have anybody that talks about anything of substance, all of a sudden there's all these, you know, idiots. All of a sudden, you know, and always, you know, 5 subscribers. They would, I don't know. It's why YouTube is toxic. It's why Instagram is toxic, because it's the people running these platforms that are toxic, because they're part of the narrative. They're part of the manipulation. But I keep saying I'm trying not to get into conspiracy stuff, but it's just too hard not to talk about. It's just so obvious. I'm gonna heat my coffee up. I put my clothes in the dryer. All right. Well, I'm kind of celebrating because, yeah, I just published my EP and put a lot of work in it. Something I like to do. So I'm thinking about having a cigar. I'm gonna have probably this Cazadores. I'm gonna have a stogie. Make something to eat. Make some food. All right, you guys have a good one. Thanks for letting me go off and just ramble and talk about like 10 topics, and damn, an hour and a half, a little longer than I thought. Okay, man, take care. Wish you the best. All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out.